Welcome back to the GSAC tournament. We're here in game number 4 between these two excellent players here. So spawning in the upper right, we have the Terran player DDRChamp. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Protoss. It is Tinfoilhat. Man, I just cannot seem to say that the first time, right? That's 2 games in a row, I think. Tinfoilhat. The F. I just can't do it. Yeah, but this series has been amazing to watch so far. It's been so close between both these players. But I really think Tinfoilhat has just shown an immense amount of openings and styles that has given him this 2-1 lead. And now all he has to do is win one more map to take the whole match. DDRChamp has to win 2 in a row, which is going to be very difficult for him. But yeah, Tinfoilhat, first game he went for his normal 4-gate and it failed. That's what he's known for. DDRChamp knows that's what he's known for, and he held it off perfectly. But the second game he went for a fast robo, and then third game went for the fast stargate, and that's really thrown off DDRChamp. The first game he just didn't have the Vikings he needed to take down his Colossus. In the second game, the third game, the Oracle just did a little bit too much economic damage in the opening. Once again, the Oracle was not scouted, so that's making it very difficult. Because if Tinfoilhat doesn't scout this game, you can probably safely estimate that DDRChamp is going to go for his 1-racks, then his gas, and then his command center. That's what he's done every game so far. But DDRChamp can just not afford that luxury because Tinfoilhat has mixed it up so much, and that I think is really one of the reasons why he's up 2-1 in this series. Let's see if the probe's not going to get out. That's nice. That's always a nice win. Because if this was a 4-gate or something, which it still could be. He's got to put the guys in the gas here soon, though. Does he see that? Putting down a couple, 2 pylons? I don't know about that. You're not being supply capped. That's kind of a waste of resources. But I guess it doesn't matter too much right now. But yeah, we still could see a 4-gate, and if Tinfoilhat is planning on going a 4-gate, losing that probe is kind of a pain. Because you want that probe to come out here and put down the proxy pylon, here or maybe somewhere over here. But yeah, DDRChamp just sticking to what he knows, Same thing as last time, probably going to put it down engineering bay fairly soon for that +1. But yeah, he's just sticking to his normal. But I don't know if his normal is going to work. If Tinfoilhat does the same thing as last time, you have to kite against these zealots, especially with charge. And you can't, if you don't, I think that's just an automatic win for Tinfoilhat. It doesn't matter that he's got Colossus or Immortals. It's the Zealots that's the problem. And it's also the upgrades, because Tinfoilhat was so well upgraded in the last fight. You almost never see Protoss get up to almost all 3s here. Especially against the 2-2 army of DDRChamp. I would say, one thing to help DDRChamp out a little bit right now, obviously not getting supply blocked. But yeah, something else, to help with those upgrades, when you put down the engineering bay, it's going to go for faster factory this time, which I like a lot for those medevacs. But yeah, if you go for the engineering bay, what I normally do when I play is I just put down 2, because then you can do 1-1, get the armory, 2-2, 3-3. You don't have to think about it as much, and you get the upgrades out a little bit faster, and that's going to make a big difference in the long run. But yeah, you see the factory coming down now for DDRChamp, and I like this a lot. Because before, he was, especially in the second game, the first and second game especially, he had barely any medevacs and barely any Vikings. And also, Widow Mines could be used for this to defend in case of a 4-gate, which we're not going to see because of this Nexus. And the Robo, which is already done, I missed it. I'm sorry about that. But yeah. We're going to see probably a 3rd bunker maybe for this wall off. But I could do it with supply depots just so then you can move out a little bit easier. But yeah, I like this a lot. You know, I would really like to see some Widow Mine production out of here. And yeah, he's gonna go for that. And you know, if you just put one Widow Mine here, one Widow Mine here, you have map vision of when Tinfoilhat is taking another base, and you can also put one here. You know, and then you know when he's moving out. So I like that a lot. For me, I use F2 a lot to select my whole army, which is really bad, but I do it anyway. And Widow Mines are really nice since they can't move when you burrow them. Because otherwise, I put this guy here, and then I hit F2, and then he like starts running away, and I have to put him back. So I really like that, you know, Widow Mine putting Widow Mines in this composition. Tinfoilhat, what is he doing right now? He's got a lot of minerals. Currently not producing anything, sending some probes down to the second base, which is good. For those of you at home that don't know, the best, most efficient way to mine is with 2 probes on each mineral patch. So for instance, let's say this guy mines 50 minerals a minute. You know, so if you have 2 guys on this one mineral patch, you'll mine 100. But if you have 3, which is what it recommends, then it's a little bit less efficient. It's like 125 for all 3. Still more than 2 though, which is why you want to build more than 2 probes. You know, I think Tinfoilhat is kind of known for only building 2 probes per each mineral patch, which is not really very smart. Because, you know, like last game, if that Oracle comes in, you know, say it's PvP, an Oracle comes in, snatches 5 probes, you know, he could have had 5 extra probes that really wouldn't have mattered, but he stopped building probes, so that's actually a pretty big loss. You know, and also if you're, like, say, 4-gating, and you're not building any probes, when you make this second base when it fails, it could have been saturated if you have been building probes the whole time. But if you didn't, then you're going to have to take forever to get this second base saturated. And that's one of the couple of reasons why you always want to have more than just 16 probes per base. I mean, it's really just makes a lot of sense. Early third here for DDRChamp. I like this a lot as well. You know, I think these small things in his build, although his opening was the same, are going to make a difference. 2 engineering base, that's good. I like that difference. I think, you know, Tinfoilhat in the last few games didn't really put down the 3rd base until much later than DDRChamp. And if DDRChamp can take advantage of that, I think he's got a really strong chance of winning this game. He's going to have to put down more barracks, though. And, you know, this is the same thing with his other games. On 3 barracks, it's not enough. Especially on 3 bases. On 2 bases, people go up to 5. You know, that's pretty standard. So on 3 bases and you only have 3 barracks still, that's not enough. You know, he's doing a good job spending his money, though. That's good. A little bit better than Tinfoilhat. But Tinfoilhat might be doing that on purpose. In case an attack comes, he can just warp in like a bunch of units because he's got the bank. This, on the other hand, I don't know. He's doing a lot of cannons. I guess I don't know what he's really worried about. I mean, unless he plans on moving out, then, you know, this might be a little bit of a waste. But I guess he's playing it very safe right now. He's up 2-1 in this matchup, so he's just got to win 1 more game. And I think that's why he's doing this. He's like, no, I'm not going to lose this game. No matter what I do, if I lose my whole army, he's still got to get through these cannons. And, you know, that's a good decision on him. That's a good thought process to have. So I like it. Once, you know, 2 robos and this one's not producing anything. You know, I don't understand this. You know, 2 robos, you know, that's fine. People do that, but I don't know if they do that on 2 bases, and certainly not if one's not producing anything. Robo Bay down, still no Thermolanso. You know, so he's got 1 Colossus, but what else? You know, he spent these minerals early to build these things. You know, why isn't he getting these upgrades? And I think the answer, once again, is the gas. You know, I think he got the gas geysers at a better time this game, but maybe he should look into that 3rd base, because, you know, DDRChamp knows what's up. He's got the 3rd base running. Got a couple SUVs around, not doing much. But, you know, he's got it. And look, he already scouted correctly. He's going double starport for the double reactor to get 2 medevacs and 2 Vikings at a time. And, you know, once you're at like 8 medevacs, or, you know, give or take, that's probably fine. You want to do double Viking from both of these. But once again, you know, I think the challenge is going to come in not so much the Colossus, because, you know, this is countering the Colossus. That's fine. The problem is the Zealots. We already have 10 Zealots here. And that's not as many as last time, but I feel like, if this game, if DDRChamp doesn't attack, hopefully he'll attack with 2/2s done. That's the best time to attack. But if he waits for till they're maxed out again, I just don't think he can. He's got to attack before it's maxed out. Because otherwise, the Zealots alone will break you. And Tinfoilhat has shown to be very much on top of these upgrades. Always 2 at a time. Vehicle weapons upgrade coming in, I guess, for the Vikings. But I don't think Tinfoilhat is doing as heavy a commitment to Colossus as he was in the past. So we'll see if it matters in the long run. Already, he's how many barracks are you on right now? 5. So 5 barracks, almost all of them tech lab. So he's going very Marauder heavy. And that's a good choice. Marauders are really, really good. So I like that. Does he have combat shield? Yeah, he's got combat shields and he's got the Marauder slow. So this is all good coming out. And he's put down another 3 barracks. I really like this. Because on 3 bases you can afford to do this. And even if they're up at the front here, that's fine. At this point, your main base is looking pretty clustered, let's just say. So yeah, I think this is a great decision by DDRChamp, and it's awesome watching these games and watching the players learn from their mistakes in the past. I'm not telling them these things in between games, they're just doing it by themselves, and they're making all these great moves, from one game to the next. How Tinfoilhat, he got the gas a little bit earlier, he's putting down this defensive wall, He's still going for the double robo though, a little bit too early, but it's working right now. He's going double Colossus production. And I would even like to see start getting some storm tech down, because the Vikings are a hard counter to the Colossus, and Tinfoilhat should have scouted all these Vikings. So once you see all these Vikings, you can mix up your tech, and then the Vikings are useless. But if you go for Storm or something, just make 1 or 2 Colossus and then go into Storm, and they didn't scout the Storm and they've been making Vikings this whole time, you win, right? Because Vikings are really bad at clustering up, and they're not gonna take down a gateway heavy army with storm support. But DDRChamp's moving out now. He's maxed out. I would definitely wait for 3/3 to finish before he attacks. But we'll see if he does that. He's probably just going to go down, check to see if there's a 3rd base. His 3rd's been up much longer than Tinfoilhat, which is really good. But I don't know if it's going to do very much if he doesn't have the production he needs to max out while this fight's going to go down, because he's not going to win this fight. Tinfoilhat, he's in a really good position, where he is. As Terran, you probably want to surround against Protoss. You don't want to fight in a close little niche like this. But he's going for it anyway, and Vikings could have been targeting fire. Now they're targeting fire. Already took down 2 Colossus, but once again, it's the gateway units that clean it up. Colossus isn't the problem, it's the gateway units. And what you need to do against that is kite. And that's hard, but with the extra production, hopefully he has enough to defend against this. But once again, this factory I feel like could have been doing more. Could be producing Widow Mines to stop this counter push, because this is what kills you. It's not that fight. This is gonna especially if the SCVs aren't pulled right now, this is going to kill you. It's just these really well upgraded Zealots. And once again, I think the problem is that DDRChamp waited until he maxed out, and I don't even know if he had 3/3 at that fight. So, Tinfoilhat is going to take this game and take the match overall. So congratulations to Tinfoilhat. He'll have one match up in this group stage. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the match.